Hello and welcome to the PAX podcast. Now announcing
you can't even run your own meme.
Goddess Wars Remastered. It's because I'm trying to do a couple of things at once. Because I always forget to do things, so I'm making sure I do everything. Like I've tweeted the podcast now. It's done. I sent a link to Wave, so he knows it. You can't even click on the link because it's not HTTP.
No, I know. I told you that.
But if he doesn't get the link, then he's not on the podcast. He can't watch it.
This is bang on. Sorry, I'm just reading Twitter stuff.
Okay. There's a picture of Eddie Murphy. Avengers in the 90s.
Avengers made in the 90s. It looks amazing.
No, don't look at Twitter. Avert your eyes from Twitter.
I'm going to need that link.
So, this week, of course, I have been playing Fortnite, as always, with your boy Wave.
I've been playing Guild Wars, as always, with my boy
Did you
Retorts.
play the Adventure Box?
I'm still playing the Adventure Box.
Actually, I've played like 4 different games with 4 different people this week.
Oh, have you? That's more than just Fortnite.
And another game by myself. So.
All by yourself.
So it's not just Fortnite, but this week on Fortnite we had the version 3.5 update. I'll go over it quickly. If you want to read the full patch notes, you can. Basically, there was the Port Fort, which is this new item where basically it's like a ball and you throw it on the floor and it builds a giant fort for you.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
It's pretty cool. And then you have like tires at the bottom, so you just jump up. So it's like an item for people who can't build. It's just, but it takes up like an inventory slot. So
yeah,
it's like
it's balanced.
It's like you throw it on the floor and you get like an instant metal fort. I think it's pretty cool from what I've seen. There was some like controversial updates though. They did the first shot accuracy.
Oh yeah.
Some people were like really hated. A lot of people were complaining about the fast weapon switch, where they were saying like at the moment they took away your ability to switch between weapons quickly after editing or switching to a weapon and editing.
Right.
They slowed that down and they were saying they're just artificially reducing the skill gap because it's like they're trying to cater to a more casual audience.
Right.
And there's like no competitive scene at the moment is what they're saying. So they've actually been doing quite a lot of nice like quality of life changes for Save the World, which is really cool. And they've done like a brand new map as well, Survive Thunder Route 99, which is like a desert map where the objective is to go on it and try and survive as long as possible with like brand new assets.
It looks like quite nice.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
It's beautiful.
It's absolutely. Oh, and they also did the new replay system, which is really cool. I've been playing around with that, and that's really cool to like look back at your like fights from different perspectives and seeing like.
You haven't got one you made earlier though.
Oh, I could, but I didn't think about it.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like pretty
next
cool.
time.
Maybe. I don't think anyone wants to watch me play Fortnite, but basically it's like you can like see what your health bar was. You can put like health bars on, and you can go and like even if I play on like shit graphics like I do, I can go back and I can turn all the graphics up on the replay and make it look sick.
You can upload to YouTube and go
I like watching like my building battles in like third person. Dave said lag's too bad, gonna watch on YouTube later. Okay. For some reason Dave can't watch our podcast on Twitch, but he also steals his neighbour's Wi-Fi. So
you're seeing a correlation there.
He said watching Mark Zuckerberg's live stream when he was getting his deposition and whatever at the government was fine. So
yeah, directly from the government, yes, you get
they
fine.
They probably have a better connection.
Yeah,
but seems to be fine for everyone else. So yeah, that's Fortnite. Apparently, there was some fake news going around that Fortnite Battle Royale was getting shut down because they were getting sued.
What?
Apparently, there was like a fake news rumor that PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds had sued them and they had to shut down because of it. But it was like a fake screen grab and people there.
That's the screen grab from the new trailer for the building thing. The 2 people looking at the person building the new fort
That's not
thing.
the screen grab, that's a picture.
Yeah, that's what I mean, but I don't understand.
No, this is the...
Okay, well, I'm saying that image, like, why are they putting it with that article?
Because they're talking about Fortnite.
But why?
You don't understand.
I don't understand the scam.
You don't understand why an article talking about Fortnite would use a picture of Fortnite in the article.
But the article talking about it is like, oh, it's shutting down. It's like, and they're using a picture from a recent update trailer.
Yeah. What's more relevant than that?
It doesn't show it shutting down then.
Because it's a fake news rumor.
That's the problem.
The entire article is not saying Fortnite's shutting down. It's saying it's a load of bullshit. So why would they try and be sensationalist journalism?
I guess
they're saying that it's not shutting down. You're getting fucking fake news right now.
I am fake news.net. Think there's a fake news.net?
But basically, one of the people who works there has dismayed the rumor that this fucking ridiculous that this one word fucking fake lawsuit would shut down the biggest company. Right now.
There isn't actually a lawsuit on them.
No.
Surely, because you'd be able to see it, like people would dig it up like instantly. What? Yeah, that's weird fake news.
Anyway, we just got the best news from PAX, and it comes from. So I said I've been playing 4 games with 4 different people. I've been playing Fortnite with Dave. This is the second game. I've been playing Heroes of the Storm with Matt. And this is in anticipation for the brand new hero, Deckard Cain. And I've always said it's a bit of a meme. I don't want to play Heroes of the Storm again until they release Deckard Cain as a playable character. And he needs to send people to sleep by reading a book. Right? And I'm not kidding when I say this. It's one of his ultimate abilities. He sends people to sleep by reading a book. I'll see if I can find the clip.
Deckard can use the Heraldric Cube to slow his enemies.
I think this is showing his talents.
This
is his other. He literally sends, stay a while and listen. Like, I was like, oh, it'd be really funny if they had like stay a while and listen, and his ultimate ability just sends people to sleep by reading a book. But yeah, it literally does that. Then he has a Lornado where he sends a tornado of books at people. It's because Deckard Cain's not actually like a fighting character, so they just kind of turn him into like a kind of supporty character.
He looks fantastic.
Yeah,
he's the best character so far.
Well, the idea is Matt said, he's going to play Deckard Cain, and then I'm going to play Abathur, and I'm going to Ultimate Evolution, and we're going to have 2 Deckard Cains.
Right.
Because if you don't know, Abathur's like a StarCraft character who can use ultimate ability to copy another allied character and use their abilities. It used to be broken back when I played, back in the day, originally, because you could copy that ultimate ability as well. So you could just copy Reinhardt, and then you had 2 Hyperions flying across the sky. But yeah, I definitely want to play it. The two meme characters I've always asked for. I've always said I want Deckard Cain in Heroes of the Storm as like a joke, and then I've always said I wanted the Tavern Dwarf from Hearthstone.
Oh yeah.
The Tavern Master, where his abilities would just be he'd be kind of like Gambit, where he just throws cards at people, or like Twisted Fate or something. Where he just throws he just throws Hearthstone cards at people, and he just summons random Hearthstone creatures to attack people.
Ultimates be just them, bro.
No, it would be super RNG. He'd just roll a bunch of dice to explode at people or something, and do random damage or something. He rolls 5 d20s and then does a random amount of damage.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
His second ultimate ability, Coin Flip. If you win this, win the game.
What if you go second though? Then you get slowed yourself.
I think he's coming to PTR soon, so I'll be very interested to see how well he does. Apparently Genji's really strong at the moment or something. But I actually really like playing Heroes of the Storm.
That sounds really weird. That's a really weird saying though. Deckard Cain works really well with Genji.
I didn't say that.
Did you not? What did you say?
I said Deckard Genji's really strong at the moment.
Oh, okay.
I'd be interested to see how Deckard Cain is in relation to the other stronger characters.
Okay. I reckon he's gonna be the strongest.
Yeah, for sure. He's gonna be a support though, so
he's still gonna be the strongest.
That's
I know nothing about.
That's one issue with Heroes of the Storm is it's like Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm. It's so team based that it's impossible to carry by yourself.
Yeah.
There was a game where we were so far behind it was over. But then like they were doing like the boss, and I was playing Diablo, and I just went in and I just did this stun them all, and we killed them all, and then we just won the game because we just did like one team winning play.
Yeah.
Like no matter how far ahead you are, you can always just like lose instantly. Like that's one of the problems. Is Heroes of the Storm has. It's really hard to carry from a solo position because it's so team based, and there's a lot of catch up mechanics for teams that are losing.
Right.
So no matter how
too
far
strong then.
So no matter like how far behind you are in Heroes of the Storm, you can always come back. I think is like maybe something that turns people off the game.
Yeah.
Because like if like in say for example like Dota or League of Legends, if one character's really strong, he can just win the game by himself. Or like if they're really far ahead, it's almost impossible to come back. Like that's one of the big differences. But I really enjoyed playing the game. I find it really fun. So I usually play with my friend Matt, and we just sit there and we talk and we just play heroes and we don't take it too seriously. It's a very fun game to play, and it's nice, quite short games.
That's always been like its like niche though, isn't it? Like it's just you don't take it too seriously. It's not
just
this
kind of
competitive
fun. It's just
thing.
like a fun game.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have like a competitive scene. There's like a small esports scene at like BlizzCon and stuff.
Oh really? Okay, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I think you have like a collegiate league. How'd you say that word? Do you know when you have like a league for colleges?
Oh, yeah, I don't know what the word for that is, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. But next one I've been playing with my good friend Martin is there's a brand new single player game for a single player event for Overwatch, similar to the Retribution. Well, this is Retribution. It was Resurgence or something it was called. But this one is really cool.
We executed our plan under cover of darkness.
Instead of being like waves of defense, this is more like you're trying to escape. It's kind of more like a stealth mission in a way. It's not very stealthy, but because there's no like actual stealth mechanics or anything.
Tell me what actually happened.
But it's really cool because you're moving around, and then these soldiers just like grapple hook down from the ceiling, and you have to fight them. It is actually legit really fun. So I was playing that with Martin.
That's one hell of a story.
This is still pretty cool.
We're getting out of here.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
We need to head to the extraction point right away.
Quite short though.
So much for keeping a low profile.
But it's kind of like, you know, whenever a game makes like a like single player game mode, they kind of just go for like the Left 4 Dead route, where they'll have like a bunch of like this character. They have like a bunch of normal enemies, and then they'll have like the hunter, which is like this character. They'll have like the tank. They'll have like the choker or whatever. Like because I played the Rainbow Six Siege single player zombie thing, and it was kind of like Left 4 Dead as well. It's quite short. It's quite short if you do it on like the easier difficulties, and then it gets like a lot harder on the higher difficulties. And there's a mode where you play as like these characters, and then there's a different mode where you can play as whichever character you want to. But it's pretty interesting. There's some new loot, some new skins. I just went on it mainly to play this. I haven't really played Overwatch since like the end of 2016, so
been that long.
Yeah, I just kind of lost interest in it because it was so heavy. The thing about I said about Heroes of the Storm, Overwatch is like incredibly team based, so it is as well as Heroes of the Storm really hard to carry from a solo position. So when your friends stop playing it,
you don't want to do it.
You don't want to play it as much anymore.
It's playing with your friends game. In your opinion?
I'd say Overwatch is really fun with friends. I don't ever want to play it by myself, but like there's kind of like a difference between like Overwatch and Fortnite for me. Is like the solo in Fortnite is like my favorite. Like they have like a solo mode. And you can play it solo, but Overwatch kind of doesn't have too much. They have deathmatch, which is okay. They have like 1v1s, which are okay, but they don't have the same level of gameplay as the rest of the game. It's kind of more confined into a tiny little mode in the arcade.
Whereas it's completely different for like a battle royale game.
Yeah, like
it's like a completely different
like
experience.
A solo experience isn't like a condensed version. It's the whole game,
but different tension, different play style.
Yeah, that's the seasonal event. So that's what I've been playing with Martin. What else was I playing? Because I said I played 3, so that was the third.
Yeah, that was the third. Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite was Fortnite. Here's the Storm,
Overwatch. I don't know.
You need to play something by yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So recently, Lawbreakers was shutting down in April 2018, April 5th. They put out a statement saying that unfortunately, Boss Key Productions, the ex Epic Cliffy B, ex Gears of War guy, they started the Boss Key Productions and they made Lawbreakers, and people were kind of hyped for it, and then it got compared lots to like Overwatch, and people were saying that they didn't really want to play. There's a lot of people were hyped, but not a lot of people played it, and it shut down. Well, it's shut down now. That's kind of the news. But what they did immediately after shutting down Lawbreakers was like, well, let's just make a battle royale game. So they made Radical Heights, which is kind of like it reminds me a lot of TF2, like on the art style and kind of like the theme. Kind of like a cartoony-ish battle royale game. A lot closer to Fortnite than PUBG, I would say, in terms of like art style.
Still its own unique thing, somewhat.
The Fortnite servers were down, so I was like, well, I'll just play Radical Heights, because it's like 2 gigabytes, and it's
really?
super early access. Yeah, the game's really small.
It's okay.
So that would be the first thing I'd say about playing this game. Is it's definitely in very early access. It's not in a point where you would want to play it as a polished game. It's like there's a lot of features missing. It's really poorly optimized.
It's got a BMX though, Joe.
But I did find myself having an okay time. The gun mechanics were okay. I've seen a lot of people playing it because I think a lot of Twitch streamers may or may not have been sponsored to play it. That's what you see a lot.
Don't they have to be told? Don't they have to tell
yes,
people
some people were getting in trouble because they were sponsored by PUBG Mobile and they weren't disclosing it. It's really weird watching somebody stream themselves on a phone through Twitch.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't see the point of that, but yeah.
I think it's mainly just like emulators. Because I saw that was a big problem where people. I think we talked about this last week or the week before. People were emulating PUBG on phone to get easier wins.
Yeah, and before that, we're like, this is probably what's going to happen, and it was.
But yeah, that came out. I played it. Some of the interesting mechanics is basically you find cash and then you buy guns. You can find some guns on the floor, but it's mainly like a cash system from going around destroying things, and then you have like gadgets. So they have kind of like have the jump pad from Fortnite where they have a trampoline. So you jump on that. You can you upgrade your gadget slots with utility belts, where you can carry up to 3, and then you upgrade your inventory to carry more guns up to 3 with backpack slots. So it's a pretty simple inventory system. One of the things I found really interesting was you can go up to an ATM and you can deposit cash and then you can take it out in another game.
Wait, what?
You can deposit
so
cash.
You can bank it for later, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can only carry a certain amount of cash on you.
Oh, okay, right.
So one thing you can do is you can put your cash in at an ATM, and then get more cash, and then kind of store lots of cash that way to keep buying the stuff you want. Yeah. There's like standard stuff, like it's kind of a mixture of like Fortnite and PUBG. Like there's like helmets and body armor and stuff. And there's like, it's like pretty standard weapons like M16, shotguns, pistols, that sort of stuff. The one thing I was able to kill like quite a few people, like 3 to 4 people in a game, but then I found someone who was like, I think he was like abusing a bug or something where he could just like infinitely roll across the screen. He was like roll. There's like rolling mechanics, right? He was just like jump rolling, and like running, like jump rolling and shooting people.
There's no like stamina meter for that or anything then.
I don't think so. It's really buggy at the moment.
Okay.
It's really buggy. It's super early. I wouldn't even say it's like the level of most early access games. It's like at the level of like a game that's
No Man's Sky.
I think it's only been in development for like 5 months. So
yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's not too long really.
And this game is released. I don't think it's in early access.
So how much is it?
No, it is in early access.
Oh, it's free.
It's free to play.
Okay,
that's why I played it.
What? So how much? What was it you could buy there at the bottom in the DLC section? That just
Founders Pack.
Oh,
so you get a bunch of So you basically all of the cosmetics at the moment are kind of you buy the cosmetic and the game is free to play.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But you can like find shorts in games and then like once you exit the game, it then unlocks the ability for you to buy that game with in-game currency for like a ridiculous amount of in-game currency,
Right.
based on how well you do in the game. So there's kind of like a little bit of a way to get some of the cosmetics, just with in-game currency.
Just really grindy and
Yeah,
not very practical.
I do like that the mode of transport on this is BMXs.
Yeah, that is
Because
fantastic.
it's really fast, and the one thing I will say about this game that I really, really like is that it is fast. It's a lot faster than a lot of Battle Royale games. I hate slow, slog, grind fest, loot simulators, like, kind of like... I put like 50 hours into PUBG, because I really like the Battle Royale genre.
You don't like having to go around and choosing lots of stuff, basically.
But I don't like how like slow it is. It's like
Yeah.
sitting in a building waiting for something, or so you don't die. But like this is like very quick. It's like you're running around, you're rolling, you're shooting people, you're moving, and it's not like a circle system. So it's like a grid system. So you'll have like a giant grid, and then those grids will become like warning zones, and then they'll turn to red zones where you stand in them.
Okay. So the
deals,
grids,
like,
you
bonus
can't be in that
damage.
grid anymore.
Yeah, one game that I thought was really interesting was the Darwin Project. I actually really think that's a really cool Battle Royale game where people can like vote on which zone goes into a red zone, or vote on like to heal someone and stuff. Because it was really interesting watching like the championship match, like the esports match with like Shroud and Forsen and stuff and their stuff. That was really cool to watch. See, like the audience interaction was really cool.
It's on my wish list, so it must be good.
Yeah, you don't like competitive multiplayer games.
No.
But for some reason I was like, Darwin Project's on your wish list.
I said that's interesting, and I'm not like against like battle royale games. They're probably the better multiplayer games in my opinion. Like I've played Fortnite on my friend's PlayStation 4, basically.
The competitive part, or Save the World.
The competitive part.
Oh, and you played it on...
I was shit at it, but I could get quite... I was playing teams, or... What's the one where it's
Squads.
Like... The squads?
There's solos, duos, and squads.
Okay, squads then.
Right. You're playing on your friend's PlayStation 4. I'm surprised the first time you played on it was on a console. It's very different.
It is very different from what I've seen, like, you play and, like, other people play on, like, on Twitch and stuff, and it's, like, it's very different. Like, the control... and.
But there's like...
What people do is different as well, because of the controls as well.
I read a lot, like, apparently, like, the Combat Pro controller, like, makes a big difference. Like, the controller you have makes a big difference on console as well, yeah. There's a lot of, like, different button maps with the Combat Pro and the Xbox One X, I think it is.
I found building to be really clunky on it, though.
Yeah,
well, I know, like,
it's good.
My friend was like really quick at putting it down, but I was just like, this isn't working in my head compared to like how. This is why I was like, I think a few weeks ago I was asking you how you do it on Fortnite. I said that, but
maybe I'll show you like a replay of me building, and you'll see like the difference between like having individual keys on your keyboard to be like building.
Yeah, you just switch to instantly.
Yeah, well, I don't need to switch. They're bound to each individual key.
Oh, I see. As soon as you press it,
I don't need to scroll through them. Like that was a big problem with the controller that I've read, is that people will turn their roofs into ramps because it's easier to build stairs by switching to roofs than it is by switching to actual stairs when they're switching between walls and roofs, because you can just go from wall to roof basically, and then your roof is your stairs, so it's a lot quicker that way. That was a way a lot of people were getting around it. What I do is I do it on PC where I edit my roofs into downward stairs. So I have walls, ramps, floors, and then downward stairs, and its own individual button. So if I ever need to build down from somewhere, I can just use roofs. Yeah. If you haven't played that much Fortnite, it might be going over your head. But let's move on to the next PAX announcements, which was State of Decay 2. We've got a gameplay video from Undead Labs, the creator of State of Decay, and they've made a second one. It's coming out. I don't know if it's May 22 on early access. For those. May 18th for those who've purchased the Ultimate Edition. If you get the Ultimate Edition, you get early access, but I wouldn't suggest buying I don't ever suggest pre-ordering games, basically. kind of like
unless you
my things.
somehow have more information than you otherwise would have. But yeah, I like the music though.
Yeah, it's
kind
good
of
music, isn't it?
I don't know how you'd even describe this, but it's very mysterious, I guess.
The UI is very nice. Like, it's a very good looking game as well.
Yeah.
There's some GameSpot gameplay as well. Do you want to have a look at that?
I'm sure they won't mind.
I'll just quickly show you like some gameplay from the game if you're interested in this. I know the first game was very popular.
Yeah.
Well,
I think for good reason. Like it was like what you wanted from a.
Well, it's kind of mixing like It's kind of mixing like build like management with like a survival game, and it was really interesting.
I was gonna say like what even genre would you put this in? Would it be both survival and management?
I'd put it in like zombie survival.
Yeah, it's for sure zombie survival, but like, would you put it in management because of that you have to?
I'd put it in like management as well. Like it's a strategy game as much as it's an action game.
You have to because you have like the day and night cycle is like actually useful to your settlement as well.
Yeah,
and stuff actually happens.
There's a lot of interesting stuff in it.
Hat parking.
That was announced at PAX, so if you're interested in looking at that, you can check out the rest of this GameSpot video.
Yeah, but it says hat parking on that sign they just walked past.
If you got a hat, you can park. But another announcement was Razer announced it's actually launching its own digital game store, so they're going to try and rival Steam
and GOG.
Like any time you make your own digital store for PC games, you're going to be like going up against the behemoth that's Steam, and you're going to be going up against the the good guys that are fairly big GOG, because like Steam is like, it's really easy to use, and then GOG is like, we want to make sure you have DRM free games that are
they have good customer
support old games, and they have good customer support.
Yeah,
and you're going up against like even like I'd say like you're going up against Origin Access, you're going up against even like Uplay a little bit.
No.
Everyone buys their games on Uplay.
Would you say
because you're forced to?
They're kind of going against Humble, but I say Humble's like kind of its own unique, weird thing.
Well, Humble's kind of like
it still puts things onto Steam.
Kind of put it more towards the GOG category, where you want to buy a game, but you also want to give a little bit of money to charity at the same time.
It's this only kind of weird niche, I guess. You can't really count it.
But all of those like the different digital game stores exist because they have something unique to offer that Steam doesn't have. Origin and Uplay, their unique selling point is you can't get these games anywhere else. GOG's unique selling point, DRM free, we're customers first. Humble Bundle, we give our proceeds to charity.
Yeah, we have good we have these bundles that you can get.
We have really cool bundles. We have like a monthly bundle that you can subscribe to.
They pair with the developers properly to give them the money, or they can give the money to charity.
It's like a lot of people have been saying like, why can't there be like a Netflix for like indie games? It's like, why would you pay $5 a month for a game you can get for like a couple of dollars on like Humble Bundle?
Yeah. That's to me. I think to me, Humble's already got that. You can subscribe to Humble, can't you?
You could just pick it up for like a couple of dollars in a Steam sale.
Yeah.
Like, why would anyone? The reason Netflix was so popular was because they offered something that nobody else offered. They offered you to stream movies and TV shows instead of having to go to the theater or watching them on having to buy a DVD. And then they realized that their server, they had a great idea, right? And they didn't just have one great idea, they had two great ideas, because their second great idea was that they realized that they were becoming so popular that movies and TV shows were going to pull their stuff from them because they were so popular. They didn't want to steal all of their business. But then they immediately just start putting all their resources into producing their own content, which is fantastic.
Or putting money to have, say, like if we give you money, then we also own some of the rights to be able to broadcast it ourselves.
I think like one of the first Netflix originals was like House of Cards, and I think that was like.
Was that actually one of the first, was it?
I think so. I think it was around 2012. In 2013, it was 2013. I think it was the first.
Then when the New Black came.
I think it was.
That.
It was like it was around like it was like the first big Netflix original TV series they made. But it's like it's come to a point where you go onto Netflix and you watch Netflix shows.
Yeah,
you don't go on there to like. They still have like other people's TV shows and films, but it's like you go onto Netflix and you watch Netflix stuff, and it's really convenient to do so.
I think almost like half their catalogue now is basically either they've made it or they've put money so they can always broadcast it. So it's technically Netflix original, but they didn't.
Why I'm saying this is because
Razer doesn't do this.
think Razer offers anything that makes me want to buy games from their service. What they're trying to do is they're trying to say. They're trying to get exclusive offers and and try and use like discounted Razer peripherals on the Razer store, similar to buying like a Steam Link off Steam. And they're still trying to push the Z Silver loyalty credits. We've said this before with the RGB cup holder from Razer that you can get for Z Silver. They had like that program where if you play games with this program in the background, then you can earn currency to buy things.
Does anyone actually use that?
I've no fucking clue. But it's only like certain games. It was like Overwatch, CSGO, and like Dota and stuff like that.
Really useful games to do that on, I guess.
To try and like improve performance. To try and make... They wanted to make like the Razer Game Booster thing that like... in reality doesn't really do anything, but people think it like improves their games and makes them run better.
Surely it would just use a little bit more resources to be able to.
In my personal opinion, I think Razer's a strong brand, but in my personal opinion about Razer, not based on what the public thinks of them, I think they're more like they're kind of overpriced. It's kind of more for show than it is for actual hardware. So.
I would agree with that. I'm
not really like looking at Razer and going, I want to buy games from the Razer store. I just don't really know why this exists, other than they want a piece of the gaming market pie. I was going to say something else, but apparently the Razer phone is actually really good.
In terms of just
Razer power. Just randomly made a phone.
Yeah,
it's actually apparently a really good phone. So. In terms of like...
Well, if they can do hardware.
I think like they had a deal where... there's like esports leagues for like phone games. I think they had like a deal where all of the tournaments would be played on Razer phones because they were like some of the best gaming...
Oh, right. Okay.
Mobile gaming hardware out there.
Why is it...
No, there's like legit like you can get like some of the huge esports league teams like Cloud9 and Team Liquid have like Clash Royale teams or
really
whatever it's called, like Clash of the Clans or something.
Who watches that?
People who like mobile games, because mobile gaming, you remember we had this massive explosion where mobile gaming just dwarfed any other type of gaming,
and then everyone was claiming that there'd be no real games other than on mobiles because they're idiots.
But honestly, mobile, if you get something on Fortnite's on mobile now, PUBG's on mobile now, there's a big reason behind that, and it's because there's a massive market for games on mobile. People like to go out and just pull up their phone and be able to play a little game while they're, on the move. You've seen the Switch come out recently, and that's because people like to be mobile gamers.
It's true. I don't know where they're doing this, but I'm sure there is places. I don't see them.
It's more acceptable to play a phone on your game as an older person or like a middle-aged person than it is as a kid. It's
kind of weird. It's
kind of like if it's say like someone who's in their 30s or 40s buys an Xbox, they might be there's a stigma behind that, right? But if that same person's playing Angry Birds while they're sat at a cafe on their phone, nobody gives a shit. Like I think mobile gaming
how do people know
doesn't
you've
have
bought
the
an
same
Xbox,
stigma as like other gaming.
But who sees you buying
someone
an
who
Xbox?
comes to your house and looks and sees, oh, it's an Xbox.
You've got an Xbox One.
People have played Super Seducer, and Super Seducer tells you not to tell people that you're a gamer because women
really
hate gaming.
That's terrible.
Well,
That's terrible
I've
advice.
seen like there's a bunch of girls who've got together to campaign against their boyfriends playing Fortnite because it's taken over the world and everyone plays Fortnite. It's really popular at the moment to hate Fortnite. And
it?
Yeah, because it's when a certain thing gets to a point where it's really popular, and it'll just get to a point where it becomes popular to hate on it because it's so popular.
Yeah.
Like examples:
Game of Thrones,
Fortnite, Rick and Morty.
Yep. I would say Game of Thrones. Like I was making a joke, but that does actually happen.
I've never seen anyone hate on Game of Thrones.
I have.
Is it like a popular thing?
I wouldn't say it's popular, but I've seen quite a lot of it. I don't know if it's
people like to be hipsters and be like,
yeah,
this thing's really popular, so I don't like it.
Yeah.
Some of the fans of this thing are annoying, so it means anyone who plays it is like,
which is really
below me.
Yeah.
But good luck to you, Razer.
What's any of this got to do with Razer?
Well, good luck to you, Razer. Next topic. Let's have a look at my notes. Oh, we saw Vampyr. Is it Vampire or is it Vampyr?
I'll just say Vampyr because it's spelled differently.
Vampyr.
If they wanted it to be pronounced vampire, they should have spelled it properly.
Top comment, my neck is ready. Give that a thumbs up. But we saw a story trailer, so we now kind of know what's going on in the story of this game.
It's still not what I want to see, though. I want to know what you actually do in the game.
We did see a little bit of gameplay. It was kind of like RPG-ish elements, maybe a little bit hack and slashy.
But I want to see more of that, really.
I watched the story trailer, and I was like confused what was going on in the story. Basically, we got more announcements of announcements. Have you seen that recently? Like at PAX, E3's coming up in a couple of months, and I'm really excited for the announcements of announcements.
You're looking forward to the announcement show.
Yeah,
it's
where they just announce that there's going to be another announcement. Like they tease it to a point where they don't show anything.
Wasn't there a countdown to announcement last year?
Yeah, and it's like in the moment, I love Kojima, but can you please stop wasting my fucking time with Death Stranding every time by showing me nothing, and then the next show you show me nothing again, and I still have no fucking idea why Norman Reedus is eating babies and fish are flying from the sky. Like what the fuck is going on?
It's like if Peter Molyneux made trailers. Like this last trailer is going to be meaningless. The next one's going to be great.
But if you want to know more about Vampyr or Vampire or
Vampyr,
I'll have to ask Dracula how you pronounce it.
Vampyr.
If you're interested in watching the story trailer, it was announced at PAX. Another thing that happened around this time is The Forest has just come out of early access. Version 1.0 release. It's now officially out of early access. I was put onto this by the fan, one of the fans. Do we have two now? Because we have Michael and Dave.
Okay.
We have two, so I can stop calling the fan of the podcast. It's now the fans. We've got a plural now. But yeah, my friend Dave.
Speaking of,
he's highly recommended The Forest to me, and it recently came.
I've seen them.
Was coming. I thought it came out of early access.
I think they announced it was coming out. Version, it says one released, so I guess it is out, but it's not.
Hang on.
No, but look at the
April 5th version 1.0 release date. Today we're officially announcing April 30th as the release date of the PC version of The Forest.
So they announced the release date of it.
It's an announcement of announcement.
Yeah.
Okay. So April 30th will be the when the 1.0 update, when it comes out of early access. And from what I've heard,
from what I've seen, it looks good.
From my friend Dave and what I've seen, it looks pretty cool. And
it is on my wish list.
And it's also multiplayer, so I'm very interested to maybe pick this up with a couple of friends. I know we got a lot of good feedback from the Spotlight last week. What was it called? Something in Porsche?
Oh, My Time in Porsche.
My Time in Porsche. We got
I got Michael to watch it, and he said it looked great.
Martin messaged me and he said when Stardew Valley multiplayer comes out, we'll have to play that together. So I'd be interested to a lot of these these early access survival games. I think are so much more fun when they're multiplayer. It's kind of
just look what
Notch
did to Minecraft.
Even if the game has some weak spots or it's not a fully polished game. you can make your own fun in them with like
Yeah.
friends. Like I think Dying Light for me was like a really good example of a game that playing it with friends enhanced the experience so much more than playing it by myself. Like Borderlands, I think a lot of people
Borderlands is good by itself because I played all of Borderlands by myself.
It's definitely not.
but-
It's definitely not balanced around playing it by yourself.
No,
I think it's
it's
definitely
more
harder
fun.
playing it with others because I think
It's way more fun with
a
others.
lot of people who said they didn't like Borderlands, I think probably played it by themselves. Like I think like.
But I still think it's good by itself. Like if you play it by yourself, I think it's still a good game.
Right.
But I get that it's way better with other players.
But I see a lot of people complaining like games that you need to play with others aren't good games. Like make your own fun
Yeah.
games because people were saying like Sea of Thieves was a really bad game, but people were having fun of it because they were able to make their own fun.
Yeah, and
But
you still get your own shit.
I think like Borderlands, Dying Light, and from what I've heard of The Forest are fun games on their own. Like you don't have to
Yeah.
make your own fun to have fun in the game.
But it's like, it's much like Minecraft though. It's way more fun with other people than it is by yourself.
just like Notch says.
I don't know how.
Post on Twitter and play Minecraft with friends.
I don't know how Notch
His
added.
famous quote.
Yeah, how did Notch add multiplayer to this game? He's a wizard.
He made Minecraft by himself.
I know. I'm so amazed on Java with Java of all things.
He was just.
Why did he have to use Java though? He could have used anything.
Well,
He
they moved it to C++. So.
Well, only for the Bedrock edition. There's still the Java edition.
Yeah, they still support both editions, but
Yeah.
I feel like at one point they're gonna
Yeah,
the Java
they're-
edition,
they're trying to.
and then
but...
modders are gonna be like, "Oh no, it's the Skyrim Special Edition problem."
Well, no, they're trying to make the modding API so that there isn't a problem like that, which is why they're not giving it the Java edition.
What? So you can just? What do you mean? They're trying
to make it so
API?
modders can easily mod the C++ version. Is what I've heard. I don't know if that's. We've been promised the modding API for a very long time, so
Okay.
we'll see.
But yeah,
We'll see.
I'm interested to play this. I want to see. It's been in development for 4 years now. 30th May 2014.
Its price going to be what's the price when they release, or they're going to up the price when they?
I'm not sure. Let me just check.
Is it?
It doesn't say here, but I would assume it will stay around this price because I don't think. I haven't played the game, but I would assume that most people would be happy paying around £10 to £15 for the game.
£10 is a
That
really
sounds
good
fair
price
to me
proposition
for like a survival game.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean,
But
really
if not, I'll probably get it on sale. I assume most people picked this up while it was on sale anyway. That's what I usually do. Like Dying Light, me and a couple of friends got that last year. I think it was around summertime on sale.
I think last year Dying Light and The Forest were both like up there on the top sellers.
Well, usually what happens when there's a sale, I find that, let's say I go, I want to play this game. I go and talk to my friends and I go, hey, this is a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Do you want to all get this? And then whether we all get it or not kind of depends on like whether I want to get it. Like it's like, because last time I did that, I was like, right, let's all get Dying Light. Let's all get Golf with your friends, and we really enjoyed playing those. But the next one is Divinity Original Sin 2 has now been announced for console. It's now on PS4 in this trailer and also Xbox One.
I've seen the damage Void.
So you can now play Divinity Original Sin 2 on console. I know very little about this game, but I
know
knew there was a lot of people who really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
And you can do that.
I didn't know you could do that. What?
And you can go fucking snake style, go into a barrel and steal a book. That was one of my main things in Fable was I would go into the shop, steal from the shop, and then sell it back to the shop.
Is that an exploit though?
No, that's a feature.
It's a feature.
That's a feature. That was a feature of the Pete Molyneux game Fable. I don't remember if it was Fable 1 or Fable 2, but you could legit hide round the corner, steal from the shopkeeper, and then sell back to him.
What's the one with the Cave of Scorn where you can go and
The temple of Scorn.
Was it a temple? Okay.
Yeah, that was the temple built for me.
You can sacrifice people to increase your evilness.
Yeah, and then you get the evil attack, which was just one button. It was like, and then there was a good version that was like, oh. Fable combat really came down to in the end casting one spell over and over again and just did massive AoE
one
damage.
Spell's overpowered compared to all other attack types.
And
ranged and melee were awful.
The spell changes based on whether you're good or bad. Because Peter Molyneux has to have like a karma system where it's based on your actions in the game impact the gameplay.
Even though it's a really basic karma system where it's like binary.
It's black or white. Yeah. Another Peter Molyneux. Speaking of black and white, he literally has a game called Black and White, which is about morality and being a god. Something Peter Molyneux likes to play. But yeah.
Or Godless.
Yeah.
He loves to play Goddess.
He loves to play God. He's like original game populist. Like literally, his first ever game is about being a god. And I think that kind of style of game is like perfect for VR.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because
do you think there's gonna be a resurgence then, or do you just that's what you want?
I don't know. I think VR development's pretty spotty at the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
But we'll have to see like how well the Vive Pro does, and we'll have to wait for like. I think we have to wait for like a Vive 2, an Oculus 2, a Samsung Gear 2. Like, we need to see the next generation of like VR before I judge.
But none of them are going to be called 2s though, right? You realise that they're going to have stupid names because you can't have chronological order anymore.
Yeah. But we'll move on to the next one, which is Spiderman. So there's the Spiderman, the Insomniac Spiderman game for the PlayStation 4. Will release exclusively on PS4 on September 7th. It's got official release date, and they've also revealed that all DLC for the game, all like the custom content that you can pay for, will also be able to be achieved through the game as well, which is pretty cool. And they've also stated there won't be loot boxes because apparently it's 2018, and you also have to say that a single player game won't have loot boxes.
I'll say this: if a game development that came out that was like, say, like either Microsoft or Sony funded it and there's loot boxes, then I think something's terribly wrong.
Oh wait, we said last week, Sean Murray, No Man's Sky's got a big update. Loot boxes.
You think?
No.
Loot boxes in space. You can go digging for treasure chests.
There is no way Sean Murray would make get pressured into rushing development of No Man's Sky because of Sony's massive marketing team releasing a broken, buggy mess over like months and months of work, slowly fixing huge issues with the game,
adding the stuff,
announcing that he's making a massive update for the game coming soon, an announcement, I should say.
Yeah.
And then his big announcement after fixing a lot of bugs and issues with the game is that he's adding loot boxes.
I will say though,
there's no way.
If they added a device where you could like search scanning for lost treasure that you could dig up in the game, then I wouldn't be disappointed.
Wasn't there like a thing like that in Mass Effect, like the original one? Where you could go down onto planets.
Yeah, you went down to planets with the Macon, and then can't remember. Do you? Yeah, I think you do scan. Yeah, you're right. I think you do scan for stuff, and you could dig stuff, and it was really terrible. But I think Ratchet and Clank had it as well. The first Ratchet and Clank had like a scanning for treasures.
Wasn't that in the desert? Is that the second one or the third one where you find the crystals?
That's in the desert.
Bring me the crystals.
But in the first one, I think there's a device that you could search anywhere, like any planet, to get like treasures, and you could like there's like 3 or 4 or something on every planet. And I just say that's a great mini game. More games should have those searching for treasure mini games.
We talked about Spyro last week, didn't we?
Wasn't it the week before?
No, it was definitely like last week. We talked about.
Was it?
Spyro's getting remastered. I
saw that was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, Spyro's getting remastered, coming to PS4 exclusively. It's a full remaster, so it's going to be like HD graphics, updated engine. And we saw that Activision, who did the publishing for Crash Bandicoot remaster, it's now coming to Steam on PC. We might be able to get Spyro on PC at some point after its PS4 exclusivity runs out, which would be pretty interesting. I'd love to play that.
Let's see if Activision Blizzard
and then we just need them to go to Insomniac Games and get the Ratchet and Clank remaster onto PC.
Don't
as well.
Sony own those? Technically,
no, Insomniac.
Yeah, no, but I swear, like they paid money to get the games.
Yeah, they have
themselves.
exclusivity.
Yeah,
but
so I think the rights are owned by Sony in some weird way. I wish Insomniac completely owned it themselves, because then that might be possible.
But yeah, because I want to play Spiderman, the new one, and I really want to play the Ratchet and Clank games on PC. But they've always had this really tight knit relationship with Sony, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Naughty Dog's and Insomniac have always had this
this close relationship with PlayStation.
close.
Too close, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, word around the office. Insomniac and Naughty Dog. Too close.
Well, they put memes of each other in before memes were a thing. They put like Easter eggs of each other.
And
stuff
also,
in the games.
what's the God of War people called? Is it Santa Monica? Games or something?
Yeah, they're too close to Sony.
Because I'd love to play God of War games on PC as well. I think that'd be fucking amazing. They've had so many developers. Yeah, it's Santa Monica Studios, Daybreak Game Company, Java Ground, Ready at Dawn. Who's making the new one?
Why is there so many? Surely, how is it possible that...
Developer... Oh, it is Santa Monica Studio.
Okay.
So it is Santa Monica. But yeah, the next topic is Warcraft 3. It's got a massive patch. It's now got 24 player lobbies, 21 by 9, large screen support. They have said that some UI interface that would be stretched and destroyed by this will have letterboxes on it to kind of fix this. But there's they've added brand new colors, so we're getting new colors like maroon, violet, wheat, peach.
Wait, wheat? Sorry?
Yeah, wheat. I guess it's like a yellow.
A yellowy colour? Okay.
But there's already yellow, so because each player has a color and there's 12, but they're doubling it to 24.
There's peanut. That's my main.
You main peanut.
Yeah, I main peanut.
I main coal.
Oh, you main coal.
not black, but coal.
Black's racist. Coal, on the other hand.
They basically Blizzard got a deluxe color chart.
Yeah,
and they've with the power of the deluxe color chart, they can now increase the lobbies from 12 players to 24 players.
In the same way that Hearthstone increased the amount of the deck slots you can have from was it 12 to 24 as well? Was that
they doubled 9 to 18
by removing the tutorial slots?
Yeah, it took them like 2 years to make an arrow that you click on that takes you to the next page, and then you can now have 8 more deck slots or 9 more deck slots.
Next level.
The technology just wasn't there.
No.
Until they developed
I can see now the technology is now fully incorporated into all of their games.
Yeah. But now we have this big up, and they also had a bunch of bug fixes, fix known issues, and they basically rebalanced the game for people who are still playing this competitively or casually, which is really cool, based on community feedback. And still no Battle.net support.
Really?
Battle.net launcher support.
Okay.
I should say. I really want this on the Battle.net launcher. I think as soon as they do that, it's going to be crazy popular.
Yeah, I'd be.
Because I know
pick it up.
Big streamers like Soda Poppin still play this. He still loves playing Warcraft 3 custom games, and I'd love to play Warcraft 3 custom games. I think it'd be so much easier to do if it was in the Battle.net launcher. It came out in 2004.
Really? Jesus.
So it is
coming up to 14 or
years,
over 14.
Yeah. I remember buying it, and my dad said, "Are you sure about this game?" And it's an 11. And I remember, well, I'm 10, so I'm almost there.
In our house, we always had the things like you're able, like, say I was like, I don't know, say I was like not, how did the age thing work? It was like 3
plus.
It was 3 plus.
Peggy 3.
Yeah, then it goes like 12, 15, 18. Say I was like 10 or something, I was like, oh yeah, you're allowed to have the next one up, basically. And so when I was 15, I was allowed to have 18. When I was 12, I was allowed to have 15.
Yeah. I feel like that was done for a little bit with me, and then they just gave up. So I would always just play them anyway.
Yeah, I eventually then got like an 18 when I was like 13 or 14 or something, so it didn't work out
GG
either.
easy.
Yeah.
So there was a rumor that you remember the Steam machine? They did it in cooperation with Alienware. They were trying to make a PC console for gaming with like.
It wasn't.
the Steam controller and the Steam machine.
Wasn't it going to be Linux based, some of them as well?
Yeah, it is Linux based.
All of them.
Or
and I was
like,
really excited for that.
It's on like it was like a Linux based Steam OS.
Yeah.
So it was like the idea was that you wouldn't have to do anything on it. You pushed a button and it launched in like a Steam UI.
Yeah.
And it was just like a Steam console. You just bought and played games on it that you got from Steam, which was a cool idea, but
no, nothing happened with
nothing.
it.
One of the issues people said when they thought it was getting discontinued, because it's not actually getting discontinued, was that there wasn't just like one Steam machine. There was like a huge array. There's like 10 different Steam machines from different companies that are helping them build it. That have different power levels and prices. It's not like an Xbox or an Xbox Pro, whatever it's called.
They were trying to make like a new version of PC.
I know it's like the PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
But it was like you can get this Steam box or this Steam box, or there was like people were saying it was too confusing.
Yeah.
For like people who just like the entire idea of this was it was really simple, and then you're confusing the people who want a really simple gaming solution. But apparently those were just rumors. They say they're not discontinuing the Steam machine in a statement. SteamOS, the Linux and the Steam machines. Basically, they were doing a routine cleanup of the Steam store navigation, which turned out to be they accidentally delisted the Steam machine page. That section of Steam Store is still available, but was removed from the main navigation bar based on user traffic. So it was on the main bar, but they removed it because they want the main bar to be a place where lots of people go.
And no one was clicking it.
But that sparked a lot of intrigue when people were like, "Oh, they're removing this." While it's true Steam machines aren't exactly flying off the shelves, our reason for striving towards a competitive and open gaming platform haven't significantly changed. We're still working hard on making Linux operating systems a great place for gaming and applications. We think it's ultimately result in a better gaming experience for developers and customers alike, including those not on Steam. So I'll give you a little bit of a history lesson. If you don't know, Gabe Newell actually worked at Microsoft before he came to Valve, and he's actually one of the reasons that Microsoft is the default platform for gaming. He's one of the people who pushed gaming onto Microsoft.
Yeah, pushed it onto PC basically.
Pushed it on. He made Windows
ported Doom to Windows.
He ported Doom onto Windows, and that was like one of the big things that pushed forward gaming onto Windows. And we've seen in the past, Valve says with like VR, we're making the Vive, and if we fail but somebody else succeeds, that's cool. And they're saying this again with the Steam machines. We don't care if the Steam machines fail, but it opens up a brand new market for gamers. As long as it gets pushed forward, we're happy to take the
It makes
loss.
sense from their point of view because they're going to get money either way. Because if someone else makes a successful thing, they can still sell games for it or software for it. So they're in a unique position in that regard.
They're saying they've learned a lot about Linux from this experience. They're wanting to make Vulkan a competitive and well-supported graphics API. Recently, they announced Vulkan availability for Mac and iOS. At the moment, it's Linux and it's Windows 10 at the moment. I think Vulkan's available on. But they also rolled out Steam shader pre-caching, which will let Vulkan-based applications skip shader compilations from their local machine.
Okay.
Which increased loading times and overall runtime stuttering. But in general, basically, they're not stopping supporting the Steam machines, basically. But I personally do think that
they haven't done anything major with it.
They need to streamline the Steam machines into a couple, like one to not. I wouldn't say. I think a lot of people they want one Steam machine. This is the Steam machine, but I think 1 to 3 maybe. The basic Steam Machine Pro, or the Steam Machine Extra will be fine. But not 8 different things that are really confusing for someone who wants a simple, streamlined option.
I understand what they were trying to do because, as I said, they really want this to happen, but so they're just giving it to everyone to do. But it doesn't help the customer to then give them money to support the idea. They need to. They need just a simple version.
But it's good news they're still supporting Linux and Vulkan, and they're still.
I'll be honest.
They're still pushing forward with.
I completely forgot about it until the rumors of it being closed down. I say rumors, suspecting because of. Is it delisting or just a button removed from the homepage?
They delisted the Steam Machine section from the Steam Store main navigation bar.
You can still get to it though.
Yeah.
So
they didn't remove it.
No.
They just basically they wanted the user bar to be based on how many people are clicking on it.
Yeah.
So you didn't want like something up there that no one was clicking on because it wasn't a useful main bar. There's a bunch of stuff no one's going to use. So they just removed it, and then but it was still there. So it was like basically everyone was like, "Oh, they're getting rid of Steam machines." And they're like, "No, we're not. We're just cleaning up the store."
Yeah. I still wish they did more stuff with it though, because I completely forgot about it.
It did create, a lot of like talk about the Steam machine and what its current state and how like it could be improved, which I think is cool.
I would still love a Linux-based gaming platform.
You just love to see that little penguin, don't you?
Penguin's great. But I don't want to see the Windows icon. I'll be honest with you. That's my main thing.
I don't think anyone can realistically move over to Linux until
not right now. No, not even slightly. Like there's just not enough games that support it, and until someone like Valve pushes the technology to be,
I don't know if we'll ever get to a point where Linux is more supported than Windows.
Not at this rate, no, because no one's supporting it properly, and not even Valve are. So
why would I buy a Steam machine?
Yeah, exactly. Valve is not pushing what they want enough, in my opinion.
Admittedly, it's probably not a product for me. I'm not looking for a simple solution to PC gaming. I have a gaming PC.
No, but I'm not looking for that either. But I'm looking for more for what they would bring if they did do that, because it means you could basically eventually build your own Linux-based PC with a simple like Valve operating system like Windows is. Instead of having to set it up yourself, which you currently have to do with Linux. It would be much nicer.
Steam OS.
Yeah, exactly. I would
like there's a Daft Punk song which is Steam Machine. It always reminds me of that Daft Punk song, the Steam Machine song. But final topic, we'll go on to then Tony's wishlist. Steam Spy just announced that Valve has made a change to their privacy settings, making games owned by Steam users hidden by default. Steam Spy relied on this information being visible by default and won't be able to operate anymore. So Steam Spy is shutting down. And
why are Steam changing this? Why are Valve changing this? I guess
they said it was based on users' feedback.
Okay.
That people wanted their games to be hidden by default, but unless everyone unchecked that feature and made it so that games are public again, then they wouldn't be able to do it. But there's no way every user's going to make their games public, and then you're going to be able to get kind of realistic results, right?
I think I'd rather have it public. I'd rather have it public by default, and then you could turn it off. Personally, I prefer the old system.
Is that a lot of people are saying? A lot of like game developers were saying we don't like Steam Spy because it was making because it was not realistic. It was like, what's the word? Unreliable.
Okay.
But what I would say was like, was it because the results were unreliable, or was it because it was people don't want to the general public to know how well games are doing?
Yeah.
Like a lot of indie developers may not want that number to go, oh, this game isn't selling a lot, I'm not going to even bother looking at it. Interesting to see.
I think that my hunch is that's more what it's about. But I don't actually know.
Because it wasn't announced in the privacy settings, but they said in a statement on the 11th of April, new profile privacy settings. Today, update expands on your profile privacy settings page, give you more control over the privacy of your Steam information. You can now select who can view your profile game details, which include the list of games you have purchased or wish lists, along with achievements and play times. This setting also controls whether you're seen as in-game and the title of the game you're playing. So you can now change it so you're not shown as like playing a certain game, or it doesn't even show what game you're playing, sort of thing. Additionally, regardless of what setting you choose for your profile game details, you now have the option to keep your total game playtime private. You no longer need to nervously laugh it off as a bug with your friends notice the 4,000 hours you've played in Ricochet. For me, that would be like 100 hours in like Bejeweled or Peggle or something. It's like, no, it's a bug. It's a bug.
I like the example they gave. That's good.
Looking ahead, we're also working on a new invisible mode in addition to the already existing online, away, and offline presence options. Because this has taken them so long that offline mode is not a pure offline mode.
No. Why haven't they had an invisible mode all this time? What's going on?
So they're now working on the invisible mode, which is like a pure offline. If you choose to set yourself to invisible, your appear is offline, but you're able to view your friends list, send and receive messages. Sometimes you're feeling social and sometimes you're not. The setting should help Steam users to be social on their own terms. We hope to have this feature ready for beta release soon. Like many Steam features, these privacy options come directly from user feedback. If you would like to join the conversation, as always, we are welcome to visit Steam discussions and add your feedback.
User feedback from like 8 years ago.
Yep. So I personally was kind of upset by this. I think it's really interesting to see like Steam stats of like what games people are buying, how many hours they're putting into them, how they're playing.
I don't see why they can't roll out this update. I agree that it's weird because like when I'm looking for like workshop items, I can see like what they're currently playing. Like I find that a bit weird. But I don't see why they can't keep like what people have purchased at the least.
Well, it's not,
at least by
it's
default.
It's not to say that Valve themselves or Steam themselves couldn't get these stats and then release them like
that's true.
Overall, like without like publicly naming individual people. They couldn't say this game is played by this many users because that, and then not showing the users. You know, that wouldn't be breaching on people's privacy, right?
No. That's just collecting of statistics, which Google does anyway and doesn't breach privacy.
But there's like, I think it's like more so recently, especially with like what's going on with Facebook and stuff. People are like really touchy about their privacy. They're like, they really hate like too much of their data getting shared online and sold to companies, and you know this kind of seeding technology where if someone gets access to one account, they then get access to the information of all of their friends.
But I think there's a difference between that and then knowing that you've bought something, or like it just tallies up how many people have bought. I think the option way is like you don't need games by Valve, just release the information themselves. I don't know why they
accurate information because they have all of the stuff.
Yeah, and they don't even need to. Again, as you said, you don't need to name them because you just tally everything up, and you're just not even a point, just like collective points of how many people have bought this thing.
But I think
feels bad.
I don't know if Steam's why shutting down, but I do think it was coming. Like I like invisible mode. I think that's.
The rest of the update is fantastic.
For the longest time, Steam had an offline mode that didn't work. You had to be connected to the internet even go into offline mode. Like Steam had an accidental DRM for like the longest time. But like invisible has come for a long time. I hope they like for the longest time I was complaining they didn't have it on battle.net, and they recently added it like I think it was like last year. Because people always improve the social features first. And I'm like, I need the anti-social feature.
Yeah,
I'm anti-social. Because at the moment, like on the Epic Games launcher, they added like a bunch of social features, and I'm like, I need anti-social features.
Need invisible mode. Where is it?
There's no invisible mode. Anyone on your friends can join your game at any point. The lobby you're in.
You can't turn it off.
But they can also join. Because it's like when I play with Dave, he adds everyone he plays with.
Yeah.
So anyone on Dave's friends list is on my friends list because at any point they can join our lobby.
Okay. I have one feature
I find that really annoying.
I have one feature I want to add to Steam. You know how like you play a game and it like sends information to everyone?
Yeah.
I personally don't get that from anyone else. So I turn it off. I don't give a shit what everyone else is playing. If I cared what someone was playing right this second, I would look. I wish I could turn it off that it doesn't send. Like if I start playing Skyrim like a ton of time because it keeps crashing from mods, I don't want to send that to loads of people. So it's like don't send people.
That's what they're saying. You can turn that off.
No, they're saying that you can't see what they're in game playing. Like if you're looking at like just their profile stuff is what they were saying, which is a little bit different. Like I'm saying people on your friends list because I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's still what I'm saying is still happening.
Right. I like that feature.
I like the feature, but I want to be able to turn it off.
Well, you can go into invisible mode.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just go offline.
No, but you can go into visible mode, not offline, so you can still see what other people play. Or you can still send messages to people on Steam.
That's probably what I will do, is just go invisible.
Okay.
Instead of being... Because currently I'm just offline because of that. If I ever play a game that's modded, it's like, I have to be offline, because otherwise it would just spam people's thing. Even though, for me personally, I turn that off so no one ever spams me. But when I do it, I spam everyone else, apparently.
Well, it doesn't bother me, but...
No. I just wish I could turn off the information to be able to send to other people.
You're self-conscious that launching a game over and over again is like...
Yeah, I think every time I do it, I think about what other people will be saying. So.
Yeah, I can see that, because like...
I want to be able to turn that feature off very specifically, so I want to be able to appear online. If they click me, they can see what I'm playing, but I don't want to send the information where it has the pop-up.
Before they had like a appear offline button on it, I would always get people messaging me and telling me to stop like launching Hearthstone because it kept crashing over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, well, I can't. I have to keep launching it because it keeps crashing.
Yeah.
But that's the end of the podcast. But we will have one last topic, which we don't usually have because there's so much fucking news. But I've made time for this week, which is... Oh, I accidentally put... Okay.
That's on my wish list.
Yeah, it's not on Tony's wish list.
It will be.
I was looking at Spy Party recently on Twitch, and I think it looks really interesting. So if you're interested in like a multiplayer spy game where you try and spot the spy or you try and be the spy, it's really interesting. Check it out on Steam. But I wanted to look at
Squeakers.
I immediately went, we have to look at Squeakers. What the fuck is Squeakers, Tony? Let's have a look. Water is flooding in the world. Build your way to climbed. There's already a spelling error in the description.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless it isn't.
Build your own way to, I think it's meant to say climb.
Build your own way to climb higher and higher.
Maybe there is a chance of survival after all. Give yourself a try. Help those boars reach the highest level.
I would say that it's not the most graphically or aesthetically good looking game.
So it's one guy who's developed and made it on the 28th of February 2018.
Yep. It just seems like
it has a demo.
It has a demo.
You're going to have to spotlight this game now. Squeakers coming to the spotlight near you. You going to download this demo and play Squeakers, Tony?
Yeah. I'm curious. It's an interesting concept, I think.
It's £1 the game, so it's very cheap. £1.69.
And it still has a demo?
Yeah. In case you wanted.
I just like this, like he just digs up some dirt and it's like, oh shit, there's water there.
And what do you do in this game? Because you put this on your wish list.
You're flooding. I only know about this trailer, and then you have to like get stuff to then build up so you don't drown.
Oh, so you're trying to build to not drown.
I think so. But
and there's local co-op, it said.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like a score. There's like a score in the top right or something.
Kind of like Tetris.
It's like anti-Tetris is what I saw from this, and I was like, that's an interesting idea. The graphics aren't like interesting to me. I like the characters look better than like, everything else, but.
To be honest, I don't think this looks too bad. I just was really confused by what you actually did.
Yeah,
Squeakers.
I'm still really confused on what you do. So
I think it looks okay. I'm gonna add it to my wish list, and I'll play the demo at some point.
It has a demo, so
it's got local co-op, so we could actually do a spotlight on Squeakers.
Great.
Right. Well, we'll wink, wink. Look out for a spotlight coming to you. They're sitting onto the wish list, but that's fine. Try to fall asleep. What's this? Coming soon.
Oh, it's just like a FAF or Five Nights at Freddy's clone, I guess.
So,
I think.
John Heron survived a horrible accident, damaging his brain and memory through falling asleep. He can rediscover his unfortunate past in his dreams, but because of his brain damage, he'll start to see visions and hallucinations.
Actually, it wasn't Five Nights at Freddy's that it's
falling asleep won't be as easy as it first seems. So
it's sort of like Five Nights at Freddy's. If you put the trailer on, because that's the reason why.
Have you been adding games to your wishlist that have demos?
I was just searching through. I was searching through demos, but this was before that even happened.
Okay.
If you put the trailer on though, because that's what made me do it. Is I actually thought the first scene actually was creepy, and I was like, actually, this looks pretty cool. I don't know what.
Burning down.
I assume that's
a terrible accident.
That's the accident, yeah. And then like just.
Oh,
I think it actually just looks.
Helicopter.
It just looks creepy to me. And I was like,
oh, you know what's creepy? Wind turbines right next to a house in development. Must be noisy as hell.
Like noisy?
He's on a helicopter now.
He's been saved.
Hospital.
I'm not sure that's how you normally get saved, because isn't there a road right there? Wouldn't the hospital?
Oh god. This must be like a horrible nightmare for people with sleep apnea.
Yeah, but I think he then opens his.
Sleep apnea? It's not sleep apnea. No, that's snoring, isn't it?
Insomnia.
No, it's when you fall asleep but your eyes are open and you start hallucinating.
Yeah, I don't know what that's called. But I honestly think like it actually looks kind of creepy, and for a game that kind of looks kind of basic, I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. They put some effort into this horror game.
What's it called?
Or psychological horror game, I guess. Like, it could be shit. I don't know though.
Sleep paralysis.
That's it. Yeah.
That's what it's called. Sorry, it's not sleep. Sleep apnea is snoring, but sleep paralysis is where it's like a really scary. This is kind. I think this is kind of what it's based on, where it's like you fall asleep, but you're like in a state of being awake and asleep. So you fall asleep, your eyes are open, and your eyes start making shapes because you're trying to dream, right?
Yeah, I was wondering.
So your body's your mind's trying to make shapes from what's in front of you, so it'll start making shapes, but you're still looking in your real world.
Yeah.
So it's like hallucinating. So it'll start making things come towards you, and you can't move. And that's kind of the scary part of like sleep paralysis.
My mum had an incident of it. Apparently, it's like she woke up and then like there's like a goblin like pogo sticking on her or something.
A goblin pogo sticking on her.
And that was her experience with
was it paralysis. A scary goblin pogo sticking on her?
Well, she couldn't move, so yeah.
I don't think I'd be too scared if a goblin was pogo sticking on me.
You know, but she could feel it though. It's just like she couldn't do anything about it. She was dreaming, but like on top of real life.
Goddamn.
There's goblins.
Pogo sticking goblins.
There's goblins.
Goblins. No.
Now we understand where. Maybe that's what happened to on his name now. How have I forgotten his name? I said it like an hour ago. Alex Jones. Maybe that's why he doesn't like goblins.
Because they pogo stick to him.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that South Park episode where it's about goblins stealing socks, and they just
Is that like, a Harry Potter reference?
No, when you have like goblins, when you put like socks in the washing machines, one always gets lost. So they explain it by having goblins steal the socks, and they have this chart, and it goes, step 1, is take the socks. Step 2, bring them back here. Step 3, question mark, question mark, question mark. Step 4, profit. And it's like kind of a meme now, where you just question mark, profit. But it's kind of like, is that one of the sock stealing goblins? They're now the pogo sticking goblins.
I will say when I did my own washing at university, I never lost a sock or anything.
Step 1, find someone who's asleep. Step 2, pogo stick on them. Step 3, question mark, question mark, question mark. Step 4, profit.
I think step 4 is they wake up and they're scared, but I don't know how that gets them profit.
Mm.
They have some the kinks to work out.
I hate horror games. The only one that looks kind of interesting is Welcome to the Game 2. That's been streamed.
I don't think I recognize.
Sorry,
that
I'm not
all.
interested in that, Tony.
No, to be fair, it's kind of like a subpar one. I'm just interested because it was like at least a little bit scary.
I've been seeing this streamed on Twitch a lot, but it's really interesting because as much as it's kind of like a horror game where you're being hunted down, it's more like a puzzle game where you're on a computer and you have to like find clues.
This isn't my kind of horror game because I don't like the puzzle horror games too much.
But it's like you have to like navigate lots of websites to try and figure out like who's trying to kill you and stuff.
Fresh new links on the deep wiki. Ooh.
Yeah, it's kind of like going on the deep web because you have a time constraint because there's a point where these guys in masks come and hunt you, and I think there's also a point where a SWAT team it's like Ice Science Simulator where you get swatted basically and arrested, and that ends the game. But yeah, I thought this looked really interesting. Do you want to look at... That was 2 games, right? Do you want to look at one more?
Yeah, let's look at one more.
What the fuck? Which way? I'm going this way. I think you now get a preview on it, so I don't actually need to get clickbaited anymore. What is Sky Noon? Okay, I'm clicking on this. This is coming soon as well.
Yeah.
Sky Noon is a first-person shooter with brawler mechanics. Players are equipped with a grappling hook, a lasso, and an arsenal of weapons. And abilities. There is no health in Sky Noon. Players eliminate their enemies by pushing and pulling them off the floating frontiers. This sounds interesting, but I was getting clickbaited by the McCree reference.
Yeah, it's definitely a McCree reference.
Let's have a look at this trailer.
It's even got the.
So it's like a floating island, and you have to grapple hook people off the island.
It looks great.
This looks amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Wow.
I actually forgot.
Where did you see this game?
I think I was just going through like the new releases and saw it.
This looks really fun. And then you have something to do with carts.
What? Oh my god, I don't remember that part. Okay.
This looks great.
My problem is, it's a game like I like, but probably would never play myself.
I would play this.
Not at least not by myself.
I would buy this. Something I would play.
I like the music though. It sounds great.
I don't understand what the point of shooting them is if you can't.
I think it has a slight knockback.
Because one guy just changed the tracks by shooting the target. That's a really interesting mechanic. Because maybe like shooting a cart at them knocks them off the map.
But I think like you can shoot them like off little ledges with the normal gun. I think.
It's high noon.
I like the stock sound effects. That's my main.
This looks really interesting. I'm going to add this to my wish list because I want to play it.
Because this is like part of my rant, like either last time or the time before, and I was like, look, it's a coming soon
There's
game.
like an air-powered weapon, so this is a weapon preview. Let's watch this quickly.
Doing.
That shoots them off. Old Faithful.
Ooh.
So this is like your default revolver.
Yeah, it has a knockback.
But that was there was not. It was like a repeater gun. Or something.
Oh, okay.
The Typhoons. This is a shotgun.
I'd say that all the guns look really cool in this. So.
Mm,
Also, I like the colours as well.
The
it's really
art
nice.
style's nice. The aesthetic's nice. I think it's a really well polished game. It's another nice thing.
Yeah, the animations are. Oh god. Okay. I'm not sure where everyone would be.
So this is the Roadrunner. This is a machine pistol. Which
is that what you saw?
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Where I
think
wasn't sure
just,
why he was shooting.
Just little bits of knockbacks. I think
it's a lot of little knockbacks.
Yeah.
This is the grapple.
I like the idea of just all the guns are based on knockbacks.
And it just reminds me a little bit. Bioshock Infinite, like grappling around.
Yeah.
And
But
shooting people.
that guy.
The guy on the right, his face.
he's the
Help!
best.
So is there any more information about this?
There's news. Is what I think I saw. They just like have like is that weekly updates they have? Yeah.
It's going to be multiplayer only, right?
I assume so. Yeah. Is it not filled out on the information thing still? Single player and multiplayer. Okay.
Oh, maybe against bots then.
Yeah, I assume so.
But well, yeah, that looks really interesting. I'll definitely have to check that out, especially if they do add a demo. But
let's hope so.
Anyway, so we'll move on to the Peter Molyneux tweet for this week, and it's 10 years ago, Microsoft Games, a game where you look after a small boy called Milo and build a relationship with him. Haha, gamers won't want to play that. This week, every gamer in the world wants to play the new critically acclaimed God of War. Which, of course, the new God of War, you have to look after a child.
Dad of War.
Confirmed, Milo is now in Valhalla with Kratos. That's where he went. He was killed.
They both were killed.
He was killed by Lionhead Studios. Was it Lionhead Studios that he was at that was developing it at the time?
So. He was cooked, wasn't he? He was baked.
Lionhead Studios killed him after the bake-off. He then went to Valhalla with his new dad, Kratos.
Yeah.
Confirmed. But
also Skyrim.
That is the end of the podcast. As usual, you can check us out and on YouTube and everything in between podcasts. We live stream this every 2 weeks on Twitch.
Apart from last time, because of
Tony was in Bristol, and it was also on April 1st.
Yeah.
That was the April Fool's joke. Tony was in Bristol.
April Fool's joke was that Easter was very early.
It was April Fool's, Easter, and then Tony went to Bristol.
Yeah.
So for like a week, almost.
It was like half a week, but yeah.
So yeah, you can check us if you want to watch us live. We are usually around 7 to 8 o'clock on a Sunday on GMT English time. Twitch.tv/Scorn. If you want
Daylight savings.
if you want to see like the VOD of this, it'll be going up on YouTube. And if you want to, see when I'm going live, you can follow me on Twitter, and I'll put up the VOD there as well. But that's the end of the podcast. I actually need to sort out the
The music.
I always forget to play the outro. I'm playing it too early. No. Well, goodbye.
Bye.